Hi, first graders. Last week in school, we started reading this book together. Remember Mercy Watson to the Rescue? I wanted to read the rest of the book for you while you're at home for the next couple of days. So if you remember, the big problem in the story is that Mr. and Mrs. Watson's bed is falling through the ceiling. Mercy is hungry and there was no hot buttered toast in the kitchen. So Mercy went over to the Lincoln sisters' house looking for something hot and buttery. And if you remember, Mercy came up to the window and was sticking her snout at it. And the Lincoln sisters got so scared that they called the fire department. The last we had read, the firefighters Ned and Lorenzo had shown up. This is pages we've already read, but Eugenia called the fire department because she doesn't like Mercy. So the firefighters showed up and they were kind of like, crazy lady, that's not an emergency. But then they heard someone yell, help. So here we are, chapter 9. Ned and Lorenzo ran toward the call for help. They went into the Watsons' house. Help! Ned and Lorenzo looked up. They saw a bed hanging out of the ceiling. They saw Mr. and Mrs. Watson holding on to the bed for dear life. We are, excuse me, we are saved, cried Mrs. Watson. Of course we are saved, said Mr. Watson. Mercy has alerted the fire department. She is amazing, said Mrs. Watson. She is unbelievable. She is a porcine wonder, said Mr. Watson. Ned and Lorenzo ran upstairs. They picked up Mr. and Mrs. Watson. The Watsons' bed sighed loudly and crashed all the way through the floor. There's Mr. Watson, there's Mrs. Watson. Oh, look on their wall, they have a little picture of Mercy. Boom! Mr. Watson looked at the hole where the bed used to be. I have always believed very firmly in the fire department, said Mr. Watson. As have I, said Mrs. Watson. As have I. From outside the Watsons' house came a squeal. Gotcha! Shouted Eugenia. Chapter 10. Ned and Lorenzo and Mr. and Mrs. Watson all went outside. Eugenia was sitting on the ground. Her arms were wrapped all around Mercy's neck. Her cheek was resting on Mercy's back. Eugenia was breathing very loudly. This pig, she said, was on my property. We'd prefer that you did not call her a pig, said Mrs. Watson. We would prefer that you call her a porcine wonder, said Mr. Watson. After all, she did save us. She's a hero. She's a pig, said Eugenia. She started to cry. There, sister, said Baby. She bent over and patted Eugenia on the back. There's Baby, Eugenia, and of course, Mercy. Mercy yawned. She was very tired. I guess that's it, said Ned. Yup, said Lorenzo. Our work here is done. Wait, said Mrs. Watson. It's almost time for breakfast. Oink? Asked Mercy. That's right, breakfast, said Mrs. Watson. She kissed the top of Mercy's head. She looked up at the firemen. Do you boys like toast? I'm going to stop right there and I will finish reading the rest of it in another video.